Welcome everyone, we're back again for another week of Why Story. This is week 6, episode 6, and today we're jumping over the ditch and shooting across to New Zealand to interview someone that there's a bit of a name amongst yLead. He has been to now, this will be his 6th year as a Rangatira mentor, and this year he's going to be Leaders Leader for Rangatira. He's also done one ASLC in Brisbane. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Eliot Fenton.
Kia ora, Mitch. Thanks for having me on. First of all, it's really great to be a part of this. I'd be interviewed, I guess, for this. A little bit about myself. So those of you who don't know me, my name is Eliot Fenton. I am from New Zealand. I was born and bred in Rotorua. Went to Rotorua Boys High, and I experienced yLead for the first time in year 12, so year 11 for Australian students. I guess just put that in perspective. Yeah, I was one of the few selected to go along to that, and it's probably like one of the most life-changing moments for me. Really enjoyed it enough to apply back for the next year. So when I went to year 13, I was named head boy of Rotorua Boys High for 2014, and I came back as a mentor. And then once I got involved into that mentoring space, it was basically just became another family. It created, I guess, like I said, another family or another whānau in which I just continuously want to be involved with. And I think I've probably learned the most valuable lessons from those experiences with yTeam, but more importantly, those people. And they probably shaped the person that I am today, or a bigger part of it at least, than I probably realised.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
There you go. I am me is my 3 words.
I am me.
Yeah. So I am me, I guess, like just on the fact that, I guess going off, I am my own person, and that's what I want to create, and that's what I kind of want to aim for. I think I got caught up a lot of the time, and I still do, like trying to be like someone else. And I think one of the biggest things at yLead, and I said, like, those people have kind of taught me is how to be authentic and be myself and be the person I want to be.
So you currently reside in Auckland, but at the moment you are visiting your mum and dad in Rotorua. So I'll let you choose this. What's the most favourite thing about either Auckland, where you live, or Rotorua?
I guess, like I said, like I grew up here in the same house for my whole life until I moved out. And like our house is just down from the forest, so it's got like, for Rotorua, it is really just like the outdoors, like, and the people. It's very nice community, and there's something about that produces good quality of people, and I see that now within the friends that I have and within the people that I've grown up with, and you see that with the people that lead us down and kind of achieve something bigger. But I feel the bigger factors from the people that come back and help the community again. What
is your spirit animal?
I guess, look, I probably have to stick with the elephant. Strong and resilient in what they do, but they also have the ability to adapt to situations and use their surroundings, like the versatility of using like their trunk. But they also kind of like look out for for the other like herd of elephants within them too.
If you could have dinner with any person, alive or dead, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Now, this may sound pretty dumb or pretty cliche in a sense, but actually the person I finally thought that I would have dinner with would be my younger self. Like, so probably actually my teenage, like beginning of high school self. And the things I would discuss is probably a lot of the stuff that I'd learned now. So I think if I had some of the lessons that I've had now, high school would have been a bit of a different experience for me. But in saying that, if think about that alternative reality, like if you go back and talk to yourself and then you change it, how will that impact your future? And that's what's kind of, I guess, like tentative to say that, because I think a part of who I was when I was younger has created the person that I am now, and without that yeah, I wonder how that would change. There was that video recently with Matthew McConaughey. I don't say it was recent, but when he won like an Oscar or something, and he asked like, who his hero was when he grew up, and he said his hero was his version of himself 10 years ahead. Who do I want to be in 10 years time? And then obviously the timeline keeps moving, so therefore his heroes, he's always working towards becoming his own hero. I think that's quite powerful, and I think that's something to remember as well, that in becoming like the best version of ourselves, or improving ourselves and growing each time is on that. So I think that's why as well.
If you could present a TED Talk, what would your topic be?
So if I were to deliver a TED Talk, it'd be on challenging people in their health. So recently through work, myself and another colleague kind of did a blog series on defining health, and it's about taking more a preventative approach to people's health. And I don't know too much about Australia, but I guess like in New Zealand, I feel a lot of the time with health professionals, we don't do anything about our health until it's actually too late, like till there's an actual health issue. And then by that time, probably most of the damage is done. So, but yeah, if I were to deliver a TED Talk, it'd kind of be pushing that idea and getting people to realize and understand the importance of how it is to look after their health prior to something happening. So what can they do to prevent health issues and increase like positive outcomes? And then as well, like I guess within that, of course, addressing issues with inequality and inequities within our health system, especially in New Zealand. Thinking about Māori, Pacifica, those populations and how we can improve and work together to achieve greater outcomes for them.
What is a skill that you have that you could teach others?
Some people don't have the knowledge around preparing food and like the ideas of what you can put food, like what food you can put together and what you can put in food. And I think myself, I don't know, my dad's always taught me to be kind of a creative when I cook, and kind of just like chucking in whatever and trying it out. And that's the only way, I guess, at the same time we go through life with knowing about things and learning, is you got to do it to see what it's like. So I guess I've been quite experimental with my cooking, but then I feel that's helped me when it comes to my degree and now masters. You got to think about practical elements for people to actually take away, because you can't, you can be like, oh, okay, eat less fat or eat less sugar, or like, eat less carbs, or you need to increase your protein intake, stuff sounding like that, and people go away and they're like, well, that wasn't too much help, and they'll go and Google something, and then they'll fall into a rabbit hole, and they'll come out the other side with all this misinformation, where the aim of that is to provide practical resources for those people. And that's one of the things I'm trying to work on a lot when it comes to dealing with people is first drawing out what it is that they actually know, and getting them to tell me more so that I'm building on it, rather than them coming in and me just telling them everything.
At yLead, our 5 colours of leadership are red for passion, green for growth, white for integrity, blue for vision, and yellow for service. Which one of those colours best resonates with you currently, and why?
I will probably have to go with white, like integrity. And that's simply because I feel like integrity is the basis of all the other colours. Simply because I feel like if you're doing something with integrity, you have integrity within your life, that feeds into your passion, because like you'll do what you want to do behind closed doors as well as in the public, like with that integrity, and that then kind of serves into your passion.
So I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions, and you have to respond either the option A or option B. So, beach or forest?
Forest.
Savoury or sweet?
Savoury.
So, neon or Netflix?
I want to choose neon, but I don't have it because I've got Netflix, but it's got better choices.
Road trip or plane trip?
Road trip.
Early riser or night owl?
I just don't sleep. Is that can that be an answer? Early riser. Let's do that.
For some of those that don't know you, you are a bit of a musical theatre buff, and you started sort of a degree in that, but then you transitioned to nutrition. I'd be interested to see, you know, what is it about nutrition that you are, you know, that makes you so passionate and excited about it, but then also being a participant, a mentor for 7 Rangatiras and 1 ASLC. How do you think lessons from Rangatira and ASLC fit into your life now, you know, going into nutrition and dietetics? Is there any sort of link in between there? Is there any sort of lessons that you've taken from Rangatira and you've implemented them into what you're passionate about now? So your nutrition and dietetics.
It's a great question, and I was actually discussing this with Val the other day too. So yeah, I started a music degree in classical performance and voice, and I got about halfway through the year, and even though I enjoyed like singing and I loved the opportunity to be able to learn what I was learning, something didn't feel, I guess, like quite right with what I wanted to be doing. And so the reason I kind of wanted to swap out music for something like health related. So one, I guess I'm very interested in the human body, and if I would talk to myself at my younger self when it came to dinner, it would be about recognizing my love for science, because I feel at high school actually I didn't give science enough effort. When I probably, like now, like I'm surprised, because like I love doing a science degree and enjoying that. So I love the human body. I find it fascinating. It's like ability to function, and everything it does is just beyond incredible. And this is where it probably feeds into yLead. It's like the want and the desire to kind of help others. You know, when it comes to singing, you're kind of just a single person doing something. Yeah, it changes and impacts people, I guess, on some sort of way in terms of that they connect with the music, but I don't think it was having a, you know, it's indirectly impacting on someone else's life, where I wanted to have a more direct impact on someone else's life. When you do Masters of Dietetics, there's a lot more practical element and essence of having a hands-on approach with people and actually being able to make directive change within their lives, especially in a hospital setting, but also like within the community. And so what yLead has really done for me is it's provided me, I guess, with those skills and that integrity, authenticity, the vulnerability to allow myself first like a wider perspective for other people. And so that ability to kind of like connect and think wider and think about other possibilities that are impacting that individual, but also could be the solutions for them, has been a huge help. I think a lot of the attitudes as well of being resilient, like allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to reflect and recognize, I guess, specific areas and specific learning points. You know, we reflect on how we can be a better leader tomorrow than we were today. You know, it's the same thing. It's like, how can I be a better health professional tomorrow than I am today? Like, but not only a health professional, like how can I be just a general better person for society tomorrow than I am today? And I think that's the most important part, is that we shouldn't get too complacent, and we should always kind of be challenging our own selves. So I think, yeah, that's what yLead continues to do for me. So
yeah, no, that was a good answer, mate. Thank you, Eliot, for taking the time today to answer the questions, and we look forward to, you know, seeing you at Rangatira in a couple more weeks as a part of the facilitation team and the leader's leader. I wish you all the best. I imagine all the yLead community wishes you all the best. Let's clap him off.
No, cheers, Mitch. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate that.